what both sides are up against here. What do you think? Might Sergeant Bales be acquitted?
Absolutely, Kira. This is one of the most challenging cases that's been before the military justice system in many years. Both sides have challenges that they face. The prosecution apparently has no forensic evidence, apparently has no eyewitness testimony, and they are relying, from what we understand now, on statements of the accused. And I suspect before the case is over, there may well be evidence of cover-up, because there is very often a cover-up in circumstances like this. For the defense, they have the challenge of being faced with a case in the extraordinarily bad timing of the aftermath of the Haditha cases in Iraq, where there were no severe sentences for any of the Marines who were charged and involved in those killings.
Okay, you just said something that caught my attention, and that was the word cover-up. From your experience, could you go into this a little bit more? You think that other members of the military, because there could be obviously a lot of shame within this case, would want to cover this up?
I think that's a real possibility. I have no specific knowledge as to any involvement of any other personnel, but we know that...
Is that common practice?
To cover up?
Yes.
Well, it's human nature for people who are afraid of being accused of crimes to do what they can to prevent the evidence coming to light. We saw that in the case of the spying at college in New Jersey, where the emails were changed and the record was changed. And it is not at all unlikely that in this case, some people tried to prevent this information from coming to light.
You mentioned also the Haditha incident, and that's where the Marines were acquitted. I believe it was 24 Iraqis that were killed, right? Men, women, children. Tell me how that plays into this. We also remember what happened after that, too, the protests and the violence that occurred after that, and so many questions about the war in Iraq, and there was so much pressure put on all sides of that war. Are you concerned that if indeed Bales is acquitted, this might be even worse than what we saw out of Haditha?
Well, we have the President and the Secretary of the Defense already on record saying that Sergeant Bales should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. And we know that in the difficult state of relations between the U.S. and Afghanistan, this is an extremely inflammable issue. Actually, Sergeant Wuterick, the defendant, was not acquitted. He was convicted under a plea bargain, but his sentence was extraordinarily light.
So do you see a possibility of a plea bargain?
Absolutely. I think the pressure will be on both sides here. I think that the government may have difficulties of proof. There are always problems in proving confessions. I think the defense will have difficulties in the reaction to this crime. And I think that as we go down the road and as the case develops on both sides, there will be enormous pressure to reach a negotiated resolution.
We'll follow it. And I know Meister, thank you so much for your time and input.
Thank you, Karen.
You bet. She was just doing